Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Shaoshuai. Many sons and many blessings, getting married and becoming a great power. Traveling through 1916, he became Zhang Xueming, the second son of the Fengtian Zhang family. Awakening to the strongest family system with multiple sons and blessings. At the beginning, General whose sister in law Yu Fengzhi was intercepted. Reward entry, helpful wife. Earn 200 W of ocean private money per month. Establishing the Far East Chamber of Commerce and marrying multiple royal families. Developing the economy and laying out blue stars. The iron ore of Outer Mongolia, the silver mountain of Fusang, and the granary of Southeast Asia. All have become the belongings of the Far East Chamber of Commerce. Polar Bear. I announce that 6 million kilometers of land in the Far East will be returned to the Far East Chamber of Commerce for management. Fengzhi Kingdom. Fusang, rebellious son. Stick. Filial son 2. Little day. Fart. All the people of the Imperial Kingdom are dedicated to serving the Far East Chamber of Commerce. The day before. The beautiful country's parliament exclaimed raise tariffs and restrict Far Eastern chambers of commerce. The next day. The Great White Fleet of the Far Eastern Chamber of Commerce arrived on the west coast. Looking at dozens of aircraft carriers weighing 100,000 tons. Beautiful country is foolish. Eagle sauce, why are you isolationist? Open the door. Free trade. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. General Jiehu, married at Fengzhi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. General Jiehu, married at Fengzhi. In the spring of 1916. Fengtian Marshal's mansion. Damn it. Little Liuzi. The martial arts world is not about fighting and killing, the martial arts world is about human relationships and worldly wisdom. I have already agreed with Mr. Yu about the matchmaker's words according to my parents' orders. You Fengzhi, you have to marry as well. I won't marry you. I tied you up. I have to marry you too. A fierce argument came from within the handsome mansion. It is Zhang Xueming who is reprimanding the young commander. It's not surprising that the young commander is rebellious. He is a prominent and outstanding military commander. Some people even refer to him as one of the 4 beautiful men of the Republic of China. And this Miss Yu Fengzhi. It is said that he is 5 years older than himself, and he doesn't even know what he looks like. This confused marriage enters the door. I don't know what the situation will be in the future. At this point, neither the servant nor the aunt dared to speak out recklessly. Both the Grand Marshal and the young Marshal have a donkey-like temperament. If anyone gets moldy at this time, I'm afraid I'll have to be pulled out and shot on the spot. For a while, the atmosphere froze in place. Within the entire Grand Marshal's mansion, almost a needle can be heard. But at this moment, a clear voice suddenly sounded from the side. Dad! Since Big Brother is unwilling to marry Miss Yu, otherwise, let me marry you. The words have not yet fallen into place. Everyone was dumbfounded. Especially the Marshal Zhang Liuzi widened his eyes. Second brother. Are you marrying that old woman? With Zhang Liuzi's angry gaze. Everyone in the Grand Marshal's mansion looked at the equally heroic young man on the side. That person is not someone else. It was Zhang Xueming, the second son of the Grand Marshal. What? Big brother is unwilling to marry. Second brother coming to pick up the plate. What kind of Western scenery is this? Everyone in the Grand Marshal's mansion is already confused. Especially the handsome Zhang Zuolin had a tiger-like expression on his face. He stared at Zhang Xueming and said, What? Xueming, you want to marry your sister in law. As the commander of the Fengtian army, Zhang Xueming has accumulated power for a long time. Although his body is thin, he is like a thin tiger descending from the mountain, giving people the illusion of choosing someone to devour. If ordinary people are being stared at like this, I'm afraid there will be 2 battles on the spot, and I can't say a whole word. But Zhang Xueming, who was in the center of his aura, had a calm and indifferent expression on his face. He is already a traveler. The many preparations before were for today. Zhang Xueming replied loudly, "Father, what you said is not right. Fengzhi has not yet passed the door, how can you call her sister? Lol. And I, Zhang Xueming, am I not the blood of our old Zhang family?" With Zhang Xueming's resounding answer, Zhang Xueming couldn't help but see a bright light in front of him. "Yeah. It said that Zhang and you got married. But I didn't insist on having my eldest son marry me. A twisted melon is not sweet. If I really tied up Shaoshuai to get married, I don't know what happened after marriage. Isn't this a hardship for Miss Yu? Moreover, the Zhang and Yu families were married before their own prosperity. I only allowed a marriage alliance due to personal reasons. If I really say it, a family is considered to have great achievements. Do you have your own Fengtian commander? Chief and a high status as the king of northeast China. It's not an exaggeration to have a noble daughter in the capital cabinet for one's own child. The eldest son won't marry. Second son married. That's also giving you face." On the side, Shaoshuai even cried. "What is a good brother? This is a good brother. Second brother. You're carrying a knife for me, brother. Brother, I'm sorry to you." Watching little Liuzi snot and shed tears, Zhang Xueming's heart was filled with joy. According to history, Zhang Xueming knows Fengzhi is a first-class and virtuous wife. She is already a wealthy lady from a wealthy family, not only beautiful in appearance, but also proficient in business. No matter how much the Marshal indulges in extravagance outside, she is silently taking care of the Zhang family's business. Even later, the young Marshal married several aunties, and she also helped with management. To prevent a fire in the backyard. It can be said that it is the Mother Eternal world. And this woman happens to match her own system. My own system, but many children, many blessings, the strongest family system. In her past life, she was able to allow the Marshal to marry 3 aunts. Get here. Add slightly upwards. Take 30 aunties. She should, I don't mind either. Sorry. Xiaoluzi, for the sake of big business. Brother, I'll cut off my beard first. Although Zhang Xueming was secretly pleased in his heart. But on the surface, the performance was extremely painful. He hugged Zhang Liuzi and howled in sorrow. 6 brothers. How can you Fengzhi, this village girl, deserve you? For the Zhang family in Fengtian. Let me bear all the pain alone. And Zhang Liuzi was even more uncomfortable. His younger brother was carrying a knife for him. Woo 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 woo. Xueming, why is this so? Why is this so? Watching the 2 sons embrace each other with a respectful and humble demeanor. The old handsome smiled with relief. Xueming. Growing up. He waved his hand. Okay. Then let's have Zhang Xueming, the second son of the Zhang family, marry Miss Yu. Chapter 2. The Awakening of the Strongest Family System. Reward 2. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. The Awakening of the Strongest Family System. Reward in hand. Half a month later. The Grand Marshal's mansion is decorated with lanterns and colorful decorations, with distinguished guests at the door. Zhang Xueming, who had been filled with a few bottles of wine, was pushed into his bridal chamber. Looking at Fengzhi sitting upright on the bed with a red cap on her head. Zhang Xueming couldn't help but smile. In the plot of the young Marshal. After Zhang Liuzi entered the bridal chamber, he didn't hurry to have sex, but instead provoked Fengzhi in various ways, and even got slapped in the face later on. It was truly a great departure from the world. Now, the beauty is on the side. I definitely need to gallop my horse first. I saw Zhang Xueming take a step forward and lift the red cap. Under the red candle, a stunning face appeared in front of him. Fengzhi was originally a wealthy young lady. Pampered from a young age, with incredibly fair skin. Plus today's big celebration. Xiafei's cheeks. Truly a peach blossom with a human face, the moon closes and flowers blush. Shaoshuai always said that Fengzhi was 5 years older than him. However, he was only 19 years old when he got married. According to this calculation, Fengzhi is only 20.4 years old. It is the most beautiful moment in life. Compared to Chai Hanyo, who is 15 or 16 years old. This fully developed northeast girl. You really need plates and plates, you need strips and strips. And on the side, Fengzhi's heart was also beating wildly. Originally married to Zhang Xueming, she still feels a bit disappointed in her heart. After all, the husband in my fantasy has always been the Zhang family's young master. And now, seeing Zhang Xueming himself, she couldn't help but feel extremely relieved. This second son of the Zhang family seems to be even more heroic and stable than his elder brother. There's no other way. Zhang Xueming was born again. Between the eyebrows. With confidence and composure that ordinary people do not possess. Compared to Zhang Xiaoluzi, who only knows how to play with his sister. Law, I don't know how much he has matured. At this point, seeing my own mother so shy, Zhang Xueming smiled slightly. Madam, a moment in the spring night is worth $1,000. It's getting late. Let's take a break. Say it. Zhang Xueming blows out the red candle and turns over to bed. Soon. Nightingales cry, red balls fall to the ground. In an instant, a system prompt sounded. Ding. Dear host, you have completed the beginner task. Newlywed. Reward attribute. Dragon spirit and tiger bone. Strength plus 100%, stamina plus 200%. Boom. Zhang Xueming only felt a burst of hot energy pouring into his body. In an instant, the bones all over my body made a crackling sound. The muscles are like northeast tigers, twisted and condensed into muscle knots like dragons. Just a few short breaths. Zhang Xueming felt like he was completely transformed. The muscles throughout the body are clearly rooted. My height has skyrocketed by a few centimeters. Lie down. Muscle strengthening. Zhang Xueming was just about to speak. But it's another system sound. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing major life events, the strongest family system, and discovering new characters. Fengzhi, position. Madam, level. Purple, epic, ability. 1, daughter of a merchant, commercial profitability plus 20%. 2, helping the wise, special effect, 3. Good at having children, children plus 2, special effect. Assisted by a virtuous wife, insert this character card into the family interface, you can receive a monthly subsidy of 200 million yuan at this moment. Zhang Xueming was completely stunned. Since awakening the many children, many blessings, the strongest family system. The system keeps reminding oneself to complete beginner tasks quickly, search for good wives and beautiful concubines for the family, and have more offspring. However, I have a special identity. He is the second son of the Grand Marshal. According to the rules of this era, my older brother is not married yet. It's basically not my turn yet. So, I just set my sights on my sister. Law. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Get married before Zhang Liuzi. Just didn't expect it. This strongest family system is so domineering. Marrying you Fengji not only strengthened my body, but also provided me with a virtuous inner assistant buff, with a monthly subsidy of 200,000 yuan in assistance. This is too outrageous. The Republic of China implemented a silver-based financial system. Currency is copper plates and silver oceans. A yuan data silver coin weighs approximately 25 grams. A monthly subsidy of 200 W ocean. In terms of conversion, that is a full 5 tons of silver. It's not surprising that Zhang Xueming was shocked to the point of being stunned. Follow the system prompts. Just put Yu Fengji's card in the family interface. You can receive subsidies every month. This fine water flows for a long time, and in a year, it's only 2,400 million silver dollars. You know. In the so-called Kangxi Qianlong prosperous era, the tax revenue of the Qin court was only over 29 million taels. Zhang Xueming is a daughter.in.law. It's almost catching up with the annual tax of the Qin court. They all say, start a family first, then start a career. Isn't it that marrying a wife brings the capital for entrepreneurship? Watching Yu Fengji with twin rosy clouds flying in his arms. Zhang Xueming's eyes changed. What kind of northeast girl is this? This is just a hen laying golden eggs. My sixth brother, do you know what you missed? You missed a silver empire. Marshal Jiehu. Is there anything better than this? Chapter 3. The Zhang family in Fengtian. This is too garbage. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 3. The Zhang family in Fengtian. This is too garbage. Independence. Independence. Red lights are hanging high inside the Grand Marshal's mansion. Yu Fengji felt unusually happy. After strengthening her body, Zhang Xueming made her feel the joy of soaring into the sky. Moreover, it's the kind that happens more than 10 times a night. But soon, this kind of happiness turns into fear. For half a month in a row, Zhang Xueming held down Yu Fengji and carried out the Dunluan incident in his new house. Apart from going to the bathroom, I don't even come down to eat. Nothing else. Because the system prompts. As long as Yu Fengji is pregnant, you can receive new advanced rewards on your own. Who would struggle with rewards? Zhang Xueming naturally rolled up his sleeves and worked hard. Finally, thanks to Zhang Xueming's continuous efforts, half a month later. Ding! Congratulations to the host, your wife has successfully conceived. Detected that the host's subordinates do not have any defense weapons. Reward. Force Training Card, X1, Unit Influence Card. It can directly influence a unit of less than 1,500 people, making their equipment level +1, and Loyalty Lock. 100%, detected that the host is not the homeowner. Reward. Family Independence Card, X1 Family Independence Card. With the effect of using it, you can establish your own family headquarters and receive 1 Super Family Construction Resource Gift Pack. Army Probation Card. Family Independence Card. So outrageous. Upon seeing this prompt, Zhang Xueming couldn't help but be taken aback. Slowly withdrew from Yu Fengji's body. Yu Fengji has just become pregnant and cannot move around. Otherwise, it may cause fetal pressure. Then, he immediately opened his family system. In an instant, a family diagram resembling a tree root appeared in front of Zhang Xueming. Fengtian Zhang family level. Level 3, one-side overlord. Homeowner. Zhang Xueming direct line. Wife. 1 person, auntie, concubine. 5 people, son. 8 people, female. 6 people. Collateral. Several brothers, several nephews, Zhang Xueming, level. Orange, legend, age. 44 character attributes. Shaoshuai, Northeast King, little wisdom and doubt, horse bandit. Born in the grassland, sworn brothers, and so on, eldest son. Zhang Xueming, level. Green, special, character attributes. Artillery expert, loser, playful and drunk, recklessness, etc. Second son. Zhang Xueming, hey. Looking at the data in the family system, Zhang Xueming couldn't help but sigh. Because he has not yet become independent, his identity is only the second son of the Zhang family in Fengtian. There are still two people on his head, Zhang Xueming and Zhang Liuzi. But their attributes. Handsome Zhang Zuolin has always been a legendary figure in the Republic of China, so naturally he has an orange attribute. He was born as a bandit and walked step by step from a street thug to the position of Fengtian commander. It can be said. It was a person who created a new family. Completed a class transition that ordinary people cannot imagine. But, after all, his starting point is too low. Although he has two powerful attributes, Shaoshuai and Northeast King, he has gained a full 300 points of influence. But after all, he hasn't read a book. The attribute of less intelligence and more suspicion directly fixed his upper limit. In addition, with numerous sworn brothers attributes, his sworn brothers were mixed with sand in the army, dragging their feet. Now, as my father, I can only barely control Fengtian. As for the 9 provinces in northeast China, the Fengtian army has never truly controlled them. To put it bluntly, the old man's ability to climb to the position of the Northeast King is already the limit. He lacks the Wang Qi to dominate the Central Plains and create a dynasty. As for my cheap brother, Zhang Liuzi, it's even more unbearable. The entire green character. Except for one artillery expert who has a positive attribute. One of the remaining attributes counts as 1. All of them are his mother negative. That's right, in history, after the Major General ascended to power, he not only fooled General Yang in Xi'an, but also managed to bury his 35W Fengjun lineage alive. He is definitely a living black sheep. Wait, this artillery expert. Really, this shouldn't be the one who fired. All negative attributes. Not only are there direct relatives, but there are also many strange people among the collateral members of the Zhang family in Fengtian. For example, Tang Gu of Zhang Xueming, with the attribute of traitor running dog, is Zhang Xuecheng. There is also a promiscuous sister-in-law who secretly withdraws money from Zhang Liuzi and wears a green hat for her husband. This is just a group of pig teammates. Take them with you. How do you fly by yourself? A man cannot be powerless for a day. His mother. Stand on your own. You must stand on your own. Quickly, lying in bed, Fengzhi rolled her eyes and heard her husband's secret curse. She struggled to get up. Xianggong, why did you suddenly become so angry? Is it because I'm not good at serving you? I really don't have the strength anymore. Just as Feng was stunned, Zhang Xueming raised his hand and patted her round buttocks. It's none of your business. Hurry up and wake up, I have something big to do today. Chapter 4. One child, two treasures. Fengji twins. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. One shot, two shots. Fengji twins. Nonsense. His mother. It's nonsense. Laowu, do you know what the streets say about our Zhang family now? They say we have a horse general. They know how to ride rouge horses all day long. Just as Zhang Xueming left the wedding room with his newly conceived wife after half a month. On the main hall of Fengtian Mansion. Zhang Xueming slammed his gun on the table, blowing his beard and staring angrily. He never expected that his second son would be so worthless. For half a month in a row, I didn't even leave the wedding room. This is just an iron body, it can't come either. On the side. Aunt Wu's face was too full of smiles. Master, it's normal for Xueming to be greedy for women when he's newlywed. And how can I persuade him? You have already married a sixth wife. How about not letting someone hug your wife to sleep? You have a crooked upper beam and a crooked lower beam. But she hasn't finished speaking yet. I heard a voice full of vitality coming from behind. Aunt Wu, are you speaking ill of me behind my back? But I saw Zhang Xueming leading the limping Fengzhi into the main hall. Unlike Zhang Xueming's dragon and tiger strides, Fengzhi, who had just entered the door, immediately made a fortune. Daughter-in-law Fengzhi, greetings to parents. Watching Fengzhi even feel a bit awkward in greeting. The most favored fifth aunt couldn't help but push Zhang Xueming aside. Take a look. You Zhang family members don't have a proper form. Look at the trouble that Miss Yu is causing. On the side, Zhang Liuzi's noodles were like the bottom of a pot. This is because Fengzhi is already water-spirited, and with the watering of her newlywed marriage, she is completely more delicate than flowers. As soon as she entered the main hall, make the whole room seem to light up. This gave Zhang Liuzi a feeling of losing millions of dollars. He just doesn't even know. He didn't lose $1 million. But it's 200 W per month. A big welfare of over 20 million yuan per year. Let's all get up, we'll be a family from now on. Although there was anger on his face, he looked at Zhang Xueming, who was full of vitality. Zhang Xueming still had a proud expression on his face. I haven't gotten out of bed for half a month, but my voice is still loud and my footsteps are solid. His mother, it's really my seed. It's quite my father's courage. However, on the surface, he still said with a serious expression, as for Xueming, Gentle Township is a hero's tomb. Men should start their families and businesses. Now that you have a family, it's time to start your own business. I'm searching, there's still a vacancy in the 27th Division. You can become a deputy battalion commander over there and experience it well. Under Zhang Zuolin of the Fengtian Army, there were a total of 5 divisions, namely, the 1st, 27th, 28th, 29th, and 16th divisions, and this 1st and 27th divisions were his legitimate troops. Zhang Xueming also understands what he is thinking. Bring your own son to the army for training and experience, don't just rely on your mother's bed. This is so special, General, right away. It's not nice to say it out loud. But before he could finish speaking, he saw Zhang Xueming shaking his head crazily. This time, he couldn't help but get angry. What? You don't want to join the army? Dad. It's not that I don't want to join the army, it's just I don't want to go to the 27th Division. Where do you want to go? I want to go to Songjiang Prefecture to suppress bandits. Do you want to go to Songjiang Province? Zhang Zuolin frowned. Different from the 3 provinces of the East in previous lives. At this time, northeast China is divided into 9 provinces. They are Liaoning Province, Anong Province, Liaobei Province, Jilin Province, Songjiang Province, Hejiang Province, Heilongjiang Province, Nanjiang Province, and Xing'an Province. This Songjiang Province is located near what is now Harbin. Compared to Fengtian near the Guanyi Pass, Songjiang Province is more chaotic. Zhang Zuolin heard that his second son was going there, just like his current parents heard that his son was just getting married and going on a trip to northern Myanmar. My own son, are these sleeping girls sleeping foolishly? Zhang Xueming couldn't help but furrow his brow. His mother, Zhang Xueming. Do you feel your wings are hard after sleeping with women? This special girl just got married, you have to run outside. Do you know that guns don't have long eyes? It's not surprising that Zhang Xueming is angry. I was so tired and didn't get out of bed the other day. Now turn your face. Don't even want your wife anymore. This is so much faster than flipping a book. Aunt Wu also followed suit to dissuade. Xueming, you are also aware of the situation in Songjiang province, where there are bandit villages everywhere. You can save dim sum for moms. Stay at home with peace of mind, work hard on Fengzhi, and strive to give the master a big grandson as soon as possible. But the next second. Dad. 5 mothers. Don't worry about it. Fengzhi. Got it. What? Zhang Xueming. Aunt Wu. Even Yu Fengzhi himself. Yu Fengzhi was foolish. Do I have it? I don't even know myself. Chapter 5. For the sake of the family, it is necessary to search for humans. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. For the sake of the family, it is necessary to search for high-quality human women. Zhang Xueming. You even lied to your own father, right? Although Zhang Xueming and Yu Fengzhi haven't slept for half a month. But Zhang Zuolin couldn't believe it. They can produce a crystal of love so quickly. This his mother. It's unreasonable. There's no way, this is the limitation of the old handsome's thinking. He still doesn't know. How bold a person is, how great the land is, as long as they are willing to work hard, the old ox will cultivate the bad land. After obtaining the dragon spirit and tiger bone, Zhang Xueming's physical fitness greatly improved, coupled with 7 to 24 hours of hard work during the day and night. He has half a month of exercise time. It is enough to catch up with others for a year. Of course, working hard alone is not enough for this matter. If you play well, you must also pick up well. Fengzhi precisely has a positive attribute of good fertility, offspring +2. So getting pregnant in such a short period of time is normal for both of them. Zhang Xueming gave a slight smile. He had already figured out an excuse. Dad. How about we make a bet that if Fengzhi gets pregnant, you'll let me go to Songjiang Prefecture. At this moment, Zhang Zuolin's arrogant temper also came up, he slammed the table with a bang. Okay. I'll bet with you today. Damn it, I don't believe it anymore. Why are you so precise in your shooting skills? If you win the bet, take whatever you want from the Grand Marshal's mansion. But if you lose, obediently go to the 27th Division and become the deputy battalion commander. The old handsome was proud and didn't believe that Zhang Xueming could be so fast and accurate. But as time goes on. 3 months later. After Yu Fengzhi began experiencing nausea and vomiting during pregnancy. The doctor who knows the pulse is certain that Yu Fengzhi is happy, and he is still a twin. Zhang Zuolin is completely foolish. Not just him. Zhang Xueming is also a bit confused. Sleeping slot. No wonder the system rewards 2 top-notch cards, the Family Self-Reliance card, and the Force Influence card. So, the attribute of good fertility +2 means this. This shot, surprisingly, fired 2 shots with 1 shot. It's not just a simple +2. It's just a his mother twin. So the reward has doubled. Xianggong, what are you thinking? Within the Grand Marshal's mansion. Watching Zhang Xueming daydream again. Yu Fengzhi, who was pregnant, asked with a puzzled expression on her face. This startled Zhang Xueming out of the system. Looking at Yu Fengzhi's slightly bulging lower abdomen, Zhang Xueming felt great joy in his heart. Provide a monthly allowance of 200 million silver dollars. Pregnancy is like twins. My eldest wife is simply born to strengthen the family. Boo. Come on, daughter.in.law, take a sip of incense. Looking at Zhang Xueming rushing towards him. Yu Fengzhi immediately tightened his waistband. Xianggong, don't. Don't touch the fetal gas. Go find Ruhua and Ruyu. As soon as he spoke of being as beautiful as flowers and jade, Zhang Xueming couldn't help but furrow his brow. These 2 women are the Tongfang maids, brought by Yu Fengzhi when she married into the Zhang family. Although their appearance may not be as good as Fengzhi herself, in later generations, they are also of the class flower level and rare twin sisters. Since Yu Fengzhi became pregnant, the two of them naturally stepped up. There is a strong sense of three British fighting against Lu Bu. And Zhang Xueming was naturally willing to take advantage of it in order to strengthen his family. Just on the day of use, the system will prompt that the two women, Ruhua and Ruyu, are just white, ordinary level, women. There is a 50% chance that a child born has negative attributes. This time, Zhang Xueming, who was originally planning to have the second daughter take it orally, immediately withdrew and changed to taking it orally. Nothing else. His elder brother Zhang Liuzi's attribute as a black sheep is still vividly remembered. I want to establish a timeless family. But we need to ensure the quality of the family's descendants. If we really give birth to children with a few attributes of garbage, no matter how big the family business is, it's not enough to fail. No way. This ordinary woman, as a snack after dinner, it's okay to taste it in her leisure time. But in order to pass on the family line, we must find high-quality human women. Zhang Xueming's heart was moved. Let go of Yu Fengzhi, who was scared to death. Put on your coat and walk out. At this moment, after seeing her husband being rejected by her, she walked out of the room with a dark face. Yu Fengzhi's heart sank. It's over. Xianggong is not happy now. Is it because they are not well served like flowers and jade? Yes, although these two women are young, they are not from prestigious backgrounds. Being a maid, it's not bad to simply serve and serve. As for the rest, I really can't hold on to the table. Where can I enter the eyes of my own husband? Hey! It looks like we need to hurry up and find a younger sister for ourselves. Otherwise. Yu Fengzhi touched his slightly raised belly. Since ancient times, mothers value their children. Now, my body is useless. A few days ago, my husband became interested and I had no choice but to take action. My lips were almost worn out. Now the housekeeper is not awesome. We must invite foreign aid. Don't even ask Zhang Xueming, Yu Fengzhi has already started to think about how to find a wife for Zhang Xueming. After all, on the stall, there is such a fierce and powerful Xianggong. She's alone. It's really difficult. New book upload, data is very important. Please provide more support daily 6.7 with at least 10,000 words of quality and quantity guaranteed. Add more flowers every 2,000 add updates every 1,000 followers add updates every 300 reviews rewards, regardless of the amount, can add up to 10 more 10 monthly tickets with additional updates. Humble Author Online thanks. Chapter 6. Dad. I like peace, but I don't love. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Dad. I love peace, not war. Nowadays, it's not just Yu Fengzhi who feels overwhelmed. In the study of Fengtian Prefecture, 45-year-old Zhang Zuolin touched his own inch and felt extremely difficult to resist. Damn it, I'm going to be my grandfather. By the way, Zhang Xueming, this old boy, still needs to go to Songjiang Prefecture. Since learning that his daughter-in-law was pregnant, Zhang Zuolin was both surprised and frightened. I am happy. The Zhang family in Fengtian has opened branches and scattered leaves, and I have been promoted to become a grandfather. What is frightening is, I lost my bet and my son is going to Songjiang Prefecture. As Aunt Wu said, there are many bandits in northeast China, and Songjiang Prefecture is the most victorious. If it were just bandits, Zhang Zuolin wouldn't be so worried. After all, he comes from a horse bandit background. If we count him up, he is the largest horse bandit in northeast China. Just because Harbin, the capital of Songjiang Prefecture, is the intersection of the Middle East Railway, Xia-Guodong-Fang Railway, built by Russia, not the Middle East, and the South Manchuria Railway, built by the Japanese. There it is. The power of Tsarist Russia and the power of the Japanese are intertwined. Since the Russo-Japanese War in 1905, the Russian influence in northeast China has greatly decreased, and the ghost country has gradually encroached on various regions, with a large number of immigrants appearing to be preparing for deep cultivation and meticulous cultivation. But after all, Tsarist Russia is an old empire. Little devils dare not force too much. So, a strange sight has appeared in Harbin, northeast China. That is the gathering of immigrants from various countries, with a large number of Russian and ghost country immigrants living there. Plus the sticks of Germany, France, Jews, and the Korean Peninsula refugees. At its peak, there were over 40 overseas Chinese residing within the city of Harbin. The whole thing is a little magic city in northeast China. When people mix up, the world becomes chaotic. Countries have to increase their military forces to protect the safety of overseas Chinese. Among them, Russia stationed a Northern Grassland Division to protect the Middle East Railway. And the Little Devils were even more insane, stationed a mixed brigade and a cavalry battalion of a total of 15,000 people. Controlled all channels from Harbin to Lushuan port. Even the management rights in Harbin. Both sides are negotiating with Japan and Russia. As the king of northeast China, Zhang Xueming. Only nominal management rights. Actually, I can't even get my hands on it. Moreover, Yuan Datu, who declared himself emperor through restoration, feared foreigners like a tiger. I have just taken office as the leader of the 9 provinces in northeast China, and several sworn brothers around me are envious. It's okay to offend the bandits. If you offend a foreigner, you will be accused by a petty person next to you, who will join the cabinet and accuse him of causing trouble without authorization. When the time comes. I am afraid of having immense abilities. We also need to power up and go out. Xueming, can you please don't go to Songjiang Prefecture? I heard that the Fuxing University of Magic City is about to start. If you really don't want to join the army, how about I send you to a university? It's really not possible, I'll take you to the Japanese army school. I heard that Japanese girls have a lot of fun. On the evening of learning that Fengzhi was pregnant, Zhang Zuolin called Zhang Xueming to his study. A rare soft word was spoken. He is really afraid that Zhang Xueming will suffer a big loss in front of foreigners due to his youthful vigor. But Zhang Xueming had already understood everything. My cheap dad. Oh no. Although it carries the attribute of owl hero. However, Zhang Zuolin experienced the Russo-Japanese War in 1905. When I saw in the newspaper that the Ghost Country Navy was attacking Russia's Baltic Fleet in the Strait of Ma and signing the Treaty of Portsmouth, pseudo. Not only Zhang Zuolin was completely stunned. At that time, the Great Xia was also a nationwide shock. This is the first time in modern history that yellow people have defeated white people and even forced them to sign unequal treaties. It can be said that this battle has affected countless Chinese people. Many aspiring individuals who see hope study abroad in Japan and learn how to save the country. Among them, there are Sun Wen, the founding father of the country, Huang Xing, one of the founders of the Fruit Party, the female hero Qiu Jin, and Sun Gu, who cannot save the people of the Great Xia through medical studies. Even Zhang Liuzi himself has studied abroad in Japan. Later on, Marshal Zhang Liuzi, without firing a single shot, led his troops to withdraw from the 3 eastern provinces. He claimed to have been deceived by Chiang Kai-shek and implemented a non-resistance policy, but in fact, this was the root cause. Great rivers and mountains, no inch of land is allowed. This is the reason why Zhang Xueming looks down on Lu Zi. Your father let the Japanese bomb him to death, you didn't even fart. In the year 31, September 18th. The Japanese invade Shenyang. You soldier runs away without firing a single shot. This is not just a spendthrift. This person is simply a national criminal. Now that he has obtained the strongest family system, Zhang Xueming is naturally preparing to drive away the Tartars and restore the Great Xia. Don't care if it's a Japanese or a Russian. He is all ready to rush into the sea. On the land of the Xia. What flows forever must be the blood of descendants of Yan and Huang. However, if this were to be said now, I'm afraid that Zhang Zuolin in front of me will have to tie himself up on the spot. In his eyes, the devils are invincible and can only be hypocritical. So, in order to persuade Zhang Zuolin, Zhang Xueming's eyes changed. Dad. I have a peaceful nature and don't like to fight. Harmony makes money. Don't worry, fighting the Japanese will definitely be done, and it will have to be done in various ways. Fight to the death. Chapter 7. Persuade Zhang Zuolin to go to Songjiang Prefecture. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Persuade Zhang Zuolin to go to Songjiang Prefecture. Dad. I know about our family's situation. Since last year when Yuan Datu declared himself emperor after his restoration, he has been sending telegrams to suppress bandits in northeast China, but he has not paid any military salaries at all. You, the handsome bit-like bandit leader, are all frustrated. I'm going to Songjiang province to either block Yuan Datu's mouth or prepare to learn how to do business from my father. Law. Upon hearing this, Zhang Deshuai's eyes lit up. Not being in charge of one's own household, not knowing the cost of firewood, rice, oil, and salt. In history, Zhang Zuolin took over the 9 provinces in northeast China, which may seem beautiful, but in reality, he took over a mess. According to records, Fengtian's annual income is only 10 million yuan at the beginning, accumulating debts due to accumulated losses. In addition to a debt of 10 million yuan, there is still an annual deficit of 23 million yuan. After becoming the commander-in-chief of Fengtian. For a while, Zhang Zuolin couldn't even send out military pay. Fortunately, we later found Wang Yongjiang, the money bag of the Fengtian army. Wang Yongjiang can also be considered a capable official in governing officials. He reformed the military system and vigorously developed industrial and military industries, which enabled the northeast Fengtian clique to turn losses into profits. Just at that time, it was already 1920, 3 years later. Now, Wang Yongjiang is still a teacher at Liaoyang Police Academy. At this point, Zhang Deshuai, who had long been poor and crazy, immediately widened his eyes when he heard Zhang Xueming mention money. Xueming, are you planning to go into business? Doing business? Damn it! Zhang Xueming sneered in his heart. The Fengtian army operates in northeast China. He doesn't earn a penny all year round, but instead has a deficit of 2 to 3 million, which is not even as much as Fengzhi giving him a month's pocket money. It has been 3 months since getting married to Yu Feng and getting pregnant. Zhang Xueming has already saved up a huge amount of private money of 600,000 silver dollars. Zhang Zuolin's 5 legitimate divisions, more than a dozen independent brigades, and a large number of unnamed miscellaneous troops only cost over 10 million silver dollars in a year. As long as you think for yourself. Holding 600 silver dollars. Now you can pull out 2 fully staffed teachers when you go out. It's just that Zhang Xueming understands the principle of planning before acting. Now, there are still more than 10 years left until the day of the national crisis in 1931. Don't mention World War II. The first battle is not over yet. According to history, at this time, the borders of various countries have not been fully delineated, and it is certain that, build high walls, accumulate abundant grain, and slowly proclaim oneself king. He went to Songjiang Prefecture not just because of random thoughts, but because he had planned ahead. A gentleman hides his tools in his body, waiting for the moment to move. One hit. Only then can it be fatal. What he wants is not to drive away the Tartars and restore the Great Summer. He wants it. It is to redraw the map of the Xia. What Chaosian Peninsula? What spans across Europe and Asia? Do you foreigners know the truth that there is no royal land in the world? The goal of building high walls. It's in Songjiang Prefecture. This is the intersection of the South Manchuria Railway and the Middle East Railway, with abundant resources and coal and iron production, making it a rare heavy industry base in the Republic of China. After the founding of the People's Republic of China, he became a resounding eldest son. And her daughter. In law Yu Fengzhi's father Yu Laozi, it's the largest grain merchant in northeast China. Guangji Grain. Just find him. Actually, it's not just Zhang Xueming who thinks so. Zhang Zuolin also has such thoughts. As long as Zhang Xueming doesn't cause trouble and is solely focused on making money, this Songjiang Prefecture seems to be a place that cannot be visited. After all, there are many foreigners there. Compared to Chinese people, foreigners have more money. It seems like it's better to earn a little more. He forced Zhang Liuzi to marry Yu Fengzhi back then. There is another reason for this. That is because Yu Jia was originally a wealthy businessman from northeast China. It also controls the entire grain trading in northeast China. After the marriage between the two families, the Yu family immediately sponsored a large amount of food and supplies to be sent to the army. The Zhang family got married. It's similar to how Liu Bei married the Mi family in Shuzhou back then. Out of money and food, he couldn't control a group of bandits under his command. Zhang Xueming can't sit still anymore. He excitedly said, "Xueming, do you really think you can make money? Seeing that my cheap dad has taken the bait." Zhang Xueming's heart was settled. He is really afraid that this handsome man won't let him go. "Dad, I'm not sure if I'll make any money. However, it's better than going up to the front line. Dad, I've said it before. I love peace, not war." Zhang Zuolin looked at his second son in confusion. The son of this warlord himself. Now talk to yourself about business and peace. This is simply indescribable strangeness. He pondered and said, "Can you tell me what you think? What kind of business can you make money from?" Seeing Zhang Zuolin's tone loosen, Zhang Xueming felt a little excited. "Dad, give me a cannon battery. I have been suppressing bandits all the way from our family. There are many bandits in Songjiang province, and they are all old bandits who have accumulated years. They are all fat and want to die. Cannon fire, hit him. I can open several villages and collect hundreds of thousands of dollars without any problem." "What? Cannon fire, hit him. Shit. Zhang Zuolin is foolish. Do you call this liking peace? Do you call this harmony brings wealth? You are preparing to kill along the way. Is the South Manchuria Railway of the Japanese, which transports goods every day, fatter? Do you have to bring artillery and stand on the railway to bombard his mother? No way. I'll book a plane ticket now and send you to Magic City to go to college. Begging for flowers. Seeking evaluation votes. During the new book period, data is exceptionally important. Dear readers, let's kneel down and beg for everything. Kneel down, kowtow. Chapter 8. Dad, in order to strengthen the family, you help me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. Dad, in order to strengthen my family, please help me place an advertisement. I'm really too big of a tiger. Zhang Zuolin is really afraid that Zhang Xueming will cause trouble. Don't ask him to join the army now. I wish I could hurry and send him to study. Originally, Zhang Zuolin didn't see it, but now he understands it. My own son is just a tiger pussy. I used to think Shaoshuai was the most like me. Now at first glance, these two sons in our family are like a reincarnation of a living beast. Same as before. Exactly the same. Give him artillery platoon, he dares to fight all the way to Harbin. If we were to give him a division, wouldn't he have risen up to Luoyang on the same day and blocked Yuan Datu in the handsome mansion in Wangfujing and bombed him first? Then he pulled Puyi out of the Hall of Supreme Harmony and said to himself, "Dad, it's our Zhang family's turn to sit on the dragon chair today. Zhang Zuolin has this idea. After all, even that old ghost from Yuan Datu can claim to be emperor. Why can't I do it myself?" However, according to the current strength of the Fengtian army, he only dares to think in his dreams. Guard! Guard! Give me Zhang Xueming. Just as Zhang Zuolin was preparing to have the guards escort Zhang Xueming and fly to the demon city overnight. Next second, Zhang Xueming's words stunned him. "Dad! According to tradition, my newlywed wife returns home in 3 days, but I have been delayed for too long. No matter what I say, I have to take my wife back to my mother's house. If you don't let me suppress the bandits, why don't you give me some troops? Let me go to my father-in-law's house with great glory." Upon hearing this, Zhang Deshuai sat back in his seat. Start calculating in your heart. Zhang Xueming is absolutely right. 3 days after getting married, the bride returns home. This is a custom that has remained unchanged for thousands of years. My own son was confused and hugged his wife to create a crazy relationship, but he didn't go back to his mother's house for 3 consecutive months, let alone 3 days. This almost made the old man think that something had happened to his precious daughter. We also sent someone to come and inquire. Zhang Zuolin could only use the excuse that Fengzhi was pregnant and his legs were inconvenient, which was why he felt at ease with the old man. However, it was the Zhang family who broke the rules. Jia doesn't know how to talk about Zhang Xueming, he only says that he is a handsome old man who doesn't understand the rules. If Feng doesn't go back to his mother's house, it doesn't seem right either. Zhang Zuolin let out a long sigh. If we send our son to the magic city now, the two of them are newlywed, and Feng is bound to go together. At that time, 1 come, 2 go. The old man is afraid that he won't see his own daughter in just 1 or 2 years. Zhang Zuolin touched his 8-character beard. It seems that I must go on this trip back to the door. And also, you have to go back with the wind and scenery. But Zhang Zuolin turned around to look at Zhang Xueming, who had a sincere expression on his face, always feeling that something was wrong. I am so big. Why are you suddenly so obedient? There shouldn't be any fraud, right? However, even if it's causing trouble, what can it be? At least I am the king of northeast China. Even if our own son suffered a defeat in suppressing bandits in Songjiang province, who really dares to kill him? It's not a big deal, it's a loss. Also let him know how high the sky is and how thick the ground is outside. Damn it. Zhang Deshuai slapped and said, "Xueming, I'll send my guard cavalry to escort you to your father-in-law's house. Stop the bandits along the way and block the mouth of the capital master." Zhang Zuolin's guard cavalry regiment, belonging to the most elite 1st Division and 1st Brigade of Fengtian. He is the insider of the legitimate lineage. Compared to the standard infantry regiment, the guard regiment has significantly fewer personnel. There are only over 1,000 people. But everyone matches horses and is well equipped. So the mobility is extremely strong. And the loyalty is exceptional. Zhang Deshuai was rough and meticulous, although he gave Zhang Xueming a team. But it's his direct guard. His idea is very clear, which is to send his own guard cavalry regiment to monitor Zhang Xueming. Save him from really causing trouble. And, if there is any danger, with a cavalry regiment, you can run fast. His grandmother, over 1,000 tall-headed horses lead the way. Your father and I didn't have such a great time when we got married. Just as Zhang Zuolin was looking proud. But I saw Zhang Xueming handing me a note. Okay. I'll set off today. By the way, Dad, I still have a telegram here. Can you help me shoot it to major newspapers across the country when you have time? I want to advertise. What advertisement? Where's Lao Wu? Come and help me recite it. Zhang Xueming was illiterate and instinctively called for Aunt Wu. Just absurdity. Xueming, you are absurd. Aunt Wu glanced too much at the text on the telegram, even a middle-aged Sun Yang like her couldn't help blushing. This time, Zhang Xueming became even more curious. Lao Wu, quickly tell me what Xueming wrote. I can't say it. You let Xueming tell you by himself. Aunt Wu stuffed the note back into Zhang Xueming's hand, covered her face, and ran out. Damn it, you're bullying me and I can't read. Zhang Xueming felt like he was about to explode. Zhang Xueming, what the hell did you write? At this moment, Zhang Xueming smiled and said, Wu Mama has also eaten something she has seen before, and she is actually shy. Dad, this is actually an advertisement for recruiting talents. I'll recite it for you. Zhang Xueming didn't hesitate and started reading the note. In order to revitalize the culture of the 9 provinces in northeast China, the Zhang family in Fengtian has invested 100,000 yuan to build Northeast University. We are recruiting knowledgeable female teachers from all over the country, aged 18.22, with a height of 1.6 or above, and a healthy and disease-free body. Parenthesis. Those who have a dignified appearance, an elegant temperament, are proficient in foreign languages, have a big butt, enjoy big family life, and do not like to compete with others. Jealousy will be given priority. At first, Zhang Xueming nodded repeatedly as he listened. But later on, his face has changed. Has a dignified appearance, a big butt, enjoys a big family life, and prefers not to compete with others and be jealous. Is this special girl a recruitment teacher? This is his mother choosing concubines. Zhang Xueming drew his commanding knife. You live beast, I will break your legs. P.S. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets. Chapter 9. Taking over the handsome Guard Cavalry Regiment. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 9. Taking over the handsome Guard Cavalry Regiment. Ah. Surprisingly unwilling to send a telegram, this cheap old man has no idea of my efforts to revitalize the Zhang family. Watching Zhang Xueming almost drive himself crazy. Zhang Xueming didn't delay either. He immediately ran out of the Grand Marshal's mansion and led Yufeng to the north camp of the Chaojun city. There are too many constraints in Fengtian city. He doesn't want to stay any longer. Xueming, what are we doing here? Get out of the city. Go to Songjiang Prefecture. Going to Songjiang Prefecture. Didn't we agree to go back to our parents' house? Fengzhi looked bewildered. She was locked in the wedding room as soon as she entered the Zhang family's door, and the fire lasted for 3 months, making black and white indistinguishable, day and night unclear. Now that I have just become pregnant, I don't even know where the door of the Grand Marshal's mansion opens. Surprisingly, you're leaving. Damn it, when I got married to a handsome mansion, I just bought a handsome mansion wedding house. But soon, she became even more confused. Just arrived at the northern camp with Zhang Xueming. I saw the crowd inside the camp bustling with the roar of war horses. All the soldiers are busy pulling up the stronghold and starting camp. Just as Fengzhi was about to find his own Xiangong to inquire about the reason. But I saw a majestic man riding a large jujube red horse and rushing towards me, flying off the horse and paying a standard military salute. Report to Marshal, I am Ma Maoxuan, the commander of the Guard Cavalry Regiment of the 1st Division of the Fengtian Army. The cavalry regiment has a total of 1,103 officers and soldiers, assembled. Please give instructions. Ma Maoxuan appears to be in his 40s because he has been riding horses all year round and looks somewhat leggy. However, his face is full of grooves and his hands are covered in calluses, making him a veteran of the 100 battles. Obviously, before his arrival, the cavalry regiment had already received orders from the old commander in advance to monitor himself and go back to his father-in-law's house to visit. This cavalry regiment is the direct lineage of Zhang Zuolin's guards. Adequate food and salaries, strong morale. Not only does everyone have horses, but there are also 4 Maxim heavy machine guns and 2 mountain cannons. It can be said that it is armed to the teeth. Especially Ma Maoxuan, wearing an armed belt and 2 Belgian-made Browning M1907.65mm pistols hanging on both sides of his waist. This gun has a handgun logo printed on the handle. So it is praised by the Chinese as a gun brand pistol. However, Zhang Xueming also noticed that although everyone in this cavalry regiment had guns, their weapons were diverse, including those made in Hanyang, China, and those carrying Type 38 rifles from the Gizi Kingdom. There are even Romanian-made Mannlichia MD.1892 rifles. You should know that this is a rifle produced in 1892, it's almost a 30-year-old antique. I don't know where my cheap dad came from. Truly made in all countries. The rifles of the entire unit combined can open a rifle museum. There's no other way. Due to the international arms embargo. During the Republic of China period, most of the domestic weapons were smuggled. Thank you so much for not needing a big knife or a spear. Why bother with new and old guns? Zhang Zuolin is located in the northeast with an extremely long border, making it easy for smuggling. At least everyone has a gun. The other warlords in the inland region suffered much more, with only 3 to 5 people holding a gun, and they were all old sleeves that could not be seen far from the sound. This is not possible. Zhang Xueming's originally excited mood suddenly cooled by 3 points. The domestic military industry is declining. The steel production that best reflects heavy industry. Amilika Kingdom has 43.46 million tons, while the old Deng Empire has 9.13 million tons, and even Gizi Kingdom has 600,000 tons. But what was the annual steel production of Xia in 1916? 45,000 tons. Not even other people's scraps are enough. The brave soldiers, when fighting against foreign invaders, are really using flesh and blood to fight against steel. In the body of mortals, on par with gods. Zhang Xueming's desire to become a self-sufficient family has increased once again. He waved his hand and said, "Everyone has it, come with me to the armory." As Zhang Xueming ordered, Ma Maoxuan was momentarily taken aback and immediately signaled to the military officer beside him. The military officer hurriedly went to make a phone call. Then he returned to Ma Maoxuan's side and whispered a few words. Later, Ma Maoxuan nodded and commanded the troops to depart. Zhang Xueming had a panoramic view of all of this. He also knew that Ma Maoxuan must have gone to consult Zhang Zuolin. However, he didn't point it out either. Anyway, everything will wait until after leaving the city. He has his own way. Chapter 10. The Great Procurement of Fengtian Ordnance Institute. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. The Great Procurement of Fengtian Ordnance Institute. Beiqing Fengtian Ordnance Factory Arsenal. In later generations, it was the famous Eastern Three Provinces Ordnance Industry General Factory. But now, because Zhang Zuolin has just taken over Fengtian, the factory is only in the initial stage. The venue is small and the equipment is rudimentary. The entire factory, including security guards, only has over 400 people. Not even a rifle production line. Can only do simple tasks such as reloading dry bullets and repairing rifling. At this moment, Zhang Xueming arrived with a large team of horses. It scared factory director Zhang Yud quite a bit. What is this for? Is there a mutiny? But Zhang Xueming said, "Uncle Zhang, I'm here to collect the equipment. I remember there are still 18 Czech-made light machine guns in the warehouse, all packed and taken away. I remember there were 2 75mm mountain cannons, all tied to my pack horse. By the way, there are still over 100 boxes of hand grenades buried underground in the north warehouse. Dig them all out and move them away. Because these days, Zhang Xueming has long been preparing to separate and become independent. I came to the armory early and stepped on a bit. So, he is even clear about the bullets and grenades hidden underground. The Guard Cavalry Regiment was originally a trusted confidant of the Grand Marshal, accustomed to arrogance in daily life, and now has received the order of Zhang Xueming. No matter what else, cheer and start pulling equipment. No way. No way. Watching Zhang Xueming pull away all the Fengtian family wealth accumulated by the Grand Marshal in recent years. The director of the armory factory couldn't help but be anxious. Second young master. In terms of military orders, the Grand Marshal only gave you one cavalry regiment. Your posture is like moving an empty warehouse. The name of the director of the arsenal is Zhang Dio. It's from the Zhang family. According to seniority, Zhang Xueming also calls him Uncle Zhang. Even in the Fengtian Zhang family diagram of the system. He is also a rare green attribute figure among members of the branch family. There are two positive attributes: diligence and loyalty. So, Zhang Xueming didn't give him any leverage. Instead, he smiled and said, "That's right. My dad said that soldiers give me a regiment, but they don't say much about weapons. Uncle Zhang, if I encounter bandits outside, run out of ammunition and food, and be captured, I will report to my father when I come back." Listen to this. Zhang Dio felt a chill in his heart. I can't write two characters in one stroke. The family affairs of the Zhang family in Fengtian should not be coveted by this distant cousin of mine. He waved his hand. What are you all staring at? Move. Move all the weapons and equipment in the factory to second young master. Second young master. Don't talk about equipment, the gate of our arsenal. If you want it, also move it out together. As he spoke, he took the shovel and took the lead in digging the grenades hidden underground. That expression. That's called a positivity. Soon, Zhang Xueming gathered over 1,200 rifles, over 30,000 rounds of various bullets, 18 light machine guns, and 2 75mm mountain cannons. You can arm another regiment. Add the Guard Cavalry Regiment given by Zhang Zuolin. Not yet out of Fengtian City. Zhang Xueming already has half of the brigade's armament. Half a day later. Outside Fengtian City. A cavalry unit armed to the teeth is slowly advancing. Watching the ancient city walls gradually fade away behind me. Fengzhi, whose abdomen was slightly raised, couldn't help but lean towards Zhang Xueming. Xianggong, are we going to Harbin in Songjiang province? Since the 22nd year of the Guangxu reign of the Qin dynasty, the construction of the Middle East Railway has led to the gathering of industrial and commercial populations in the Harbin area. As a transportation hub, it connects the Russian Far East, Manchuria, and Port Arthur, where a large number of foreign immigrants reside. In 1916, Harbin was also considered an international commercial port no less than Magic City. So, as a wealthy young lady, Fengzhi also hopes to go to a big city. Just. Zhang Xueming calmly shook his head. We're not going to Harbin. The teacher has long said that when the countryside surrounds the city, there are over 50,000 troops from various countries stationed in Harbin. I have over 1,000 cavalry, and now rushing over may be like hitting a stone with eggs. Only after establishing a self-sufficient family, establishing a good base, and developing industry. With another torrent of steel. Mount Tai tops. Fong is the best solution. Where are we going then? Fengzhi felt a bit disappointed. Zhang Xueming smiled and said, the vast sky has great potential. The place we are going to is very close to Harbin. Daqing, do you know Daqing? Daqing. Fengzhi was stunned for a moment, then shook his head. Is there this place in Songjiang province? Watching Fengzhi's bewildered expression. But Zhang Xueming smiled. Before the discovery of Daqing oil field in 1959. In the eyes of ordinary people, Daqing is just a piece of land that is so barren that it cannot even produce food. Compared to fertile black soil, black oil occasionally emerges here. There are hundreds of harms but no benefits. But Zhang Xueming knew. Oil. It is the blood of modern industry. It is the cornerstone of the Second Industrial Revolution. Petrochemical, plastic production, and even industrial fertilizers. We all need a lot of oil. And Xia has vast territory and abundant resources, only lacking oil. So, the strategic resource of oil must be grasped by oneself. And Daqing. Until the 20th century, the annual oil and gas equivalent production remained above 40 million tons. How terrifying is this number? The production of a Daqing oil field accounts for 38% of the country's self-produced oil market. Its appearance. Let Xia country break free from the label of a poor oil country. It can be said that the exploration and development achievements of Daqing oil field. It can be recorded in the history of China's development together with the 2 bombs and 1 satellite. And the first center of Zhang Xueming's independent family. I decided to choose Daqing. The torrent of steel requires strong petroleum blood as support. Before taking over the Middle East oil field. This will provide a continuous source of energy for the family. Open the base directly on the rich mine. Is there anything better than this? Damn it. With oil. I will also be a dog tycoon on an equal footing with Shah in the future.